Okay. So usually I would say this was a very hard act to follow, but I know who's in store next. So believe me, he'll be able to follow. I know this person. I met him during the first event we had last year. I honestly do read his books, as you can see. And I am sure you'll be extremely connected to him. It is very important for me to introduce him formally, but first I'd like you to see him in his face. You're about to go on, and I hope here he is. Oh, here he is. Hello there. Let me give you the royal treatment. Let me give you the royal treatment because you deserve that. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce you Douglas Vermeeren, who has personally interviewed business leaders and companies like Nike, Reebok, Fruit of the Loom, FedEx, American Airlines, UGG Boots, Uber, KFC, McDonald's, Disney, United Airlines, Ted Baker, and so many others to share the success secrets with you. ABC Television and Fox Business refer to him as the modern-day Napoleon Hill. He is also producer, as we heard before. He's also producer and director of 4 out of the top 10 personal development movies ever made. And now the new hit film, How Thoughts Become Things. We're very excited about it, Doug. Douglas has authored 3 books in the Guerrilla Marketing series. He's a regular feature expert on Fox, CNN, ABC, NBC, CTV, and CBC, and others. His training programs share strategies of how to connect with the highest level achievers and expand your network to grow your business. His award-winning entrepreneur training programs have been rated among the best in the world. The title of his speech is Your Highest Value Skill, and I know, Doug, you are free.
Wow. Well, thank you. It's exciting to be with you guys again. I feel so with you in the Philippines. We just love spending so much time with you guys. Now, I was intending to show a PowerPoint. I'm not sure how the technology works, so we're just going to have fun. But it would be okay if I just ask, first of all, how many here are from the Philippines? Because I've been practicing something. If you're from the Philippines, just quickly in your chat, put yes, so we can see who you are. Just please quickly put yes, so I know who you are if you're in the Philippines. Let's do that now. Go ahead. I'll be waiting for you. Oh, I see a couple that have seen me before. Welcome back. Hello.
Yes. You have 20 minutes delay in the Facebook group. So between your question and reaction, you will have 20 seconds delay, sorry.
So wonderful. We've got lots of people saying yes. So it looks like we've got a ton of people from the Philippines. I'm actually excited. Are you guys, listen to this carefully. Tell me if I get this right. Kamusta po kayo? If I got that right, please again also put yes. I'm excited to be with you guys. What a special time it is to be with you in the Philippines. I see again people saying hello and welcome back. I miss you guys. I really wish with all my heart that I could be there with you today. Now, I want to share that very soon, I hope the borders will open, and I've been chatting with Celia and Fabio and some of the others. I am going to come back. I will be coming back to see you. And so I'm so excited. I really enjoyed my time with you last year. And you guys just treated us so special when we were there. And it's definitely created fond memories. As someone said, yes, I got that right. But we had such fond memories with you last year that really, honestly, it almost brings me to tears that I can't be with you. So I really want to make this, yes, mabuti po. Thank you. Thank you. So I look forward to spending some time with you today. My goal today is to be of highest service to you, to be able to give you the tools that are going to be able to help you create success in your life and make a difference. And I'm aware that right now with what's going on with the COVID virus and the other things in the world, that it's difficult. Here we go, Kamusta po kao. Hey, we could turn this whole thing into the lesson in Tagalog, and I would appreciate that, but you might not find the highest value. That would serve mostly me. But I will say this, when I come to the Philippines next, you can all teach me, because I've got so much to learn about the Philippines. I love it. So we're coming back. But let me share with you kind of what I thought would be useful. as I mentioned, there's a lot going on with the COVID virus, and it's affecting a lot of people in difficult ways. One of the biggest things that it's probably affecting for many of you is your income streams, your wealth. And without showing the video, maybe let me give you a little bit of my background. So for those of you who are new to the experience with me, you can understand kind of who I am and how I can serve you today, because that's my goal, is to serve you. I'm going to also invite you to take lots of notes, because there's going to be some things that we share that, if you pay careful attention, will dramatically change your life. Now, before we get started, is it okay if I give a free gift? Just give you guys a free gift right off the bat? Well, my team has built a website called DougSentMe.com. DougSentMe.com. I encourage you to open a separate window right now and just go to DougSentMe.com, and in exchange for your email address, we're going to send you some really cool materials that will help you to supplement and to really get started with some of the things we're going to talk about today. So if you're set, so am I. Let's get started. Now, I'd like to, of course, acknowledge this 20-second delay. So I want to give you a question, and then I'm going to give you a second to think about it. Type your answers in the side when you have this. Are you ready? Okay, here's the question, then I'll give you my introduction. I want you to think about what financial freedom looks like to you. Write it down, I'll be reading. Now, as you're writing that down, let me give you my background. So when I was a young man, I was born into a family that, quite frankly, we'd never heard of personal development. We'd never heard of entrepreneurship or wealth or any of these amazing things that some of you are engaged in. And my father worked in construction. My mom babysit kids in the home. And we were broke. We were extremely broke. In fact, my parents were engaged in something that I call the poverty pattern, which means that when a paycheck came, it all went to bills, and we would just have to work as hard as we could to get the next paycheck so that we would have the ability to survive. And my parents' idea of getting more money was, in fact, to work harder, to get into overtime, right? To work more so we could get more money. That was their idea. And as you can imagine, because I was born into that circumstance, that's exactly what I was taught. That's what I grew to understand. And as a young man, of course, I worked very, very hard as best as I can. And it was really difficult because I couldn't get ahead. I was always trading time for money. And it was very discouraging. And at about that time, when I was really about to quit and find something else and everything else, a friend gave me the book, Think and Grow Rich. Now, interestingly enough, Think and Grow Rich changed my life for two reasons. One, it got me thinking differently. And this is interesting because we're talking about my latest movie, How Thoughts Become Things, right? How you think will really have an effect on what you're able to do. And I encourage you, if you haven't seen the film, head over there, howthoughtsbecomethings.com. You'll see Travis, you'll see myself, you'll see Dr. Dennis Waitley, who you had yesterday. We're all in there sharing some really powerful things. So that was gift number one from Think and Grow Rich, my thinking, what I was thinking about. The second thing, I have to admit, I got a little jealous. You see, in order to write that book, how we think, how he wrote Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill went out and he interviewed more than 400 of the world's top achievers in his day. He got to people like Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, the Rockefellers, the Wrigleys, and many other amazing people, right? By the way, I see people are starting to kind of get their copies and their materials that are there. So congratulations, that's what's coming up on my screen. So, Napoleon Hill interviewed all these top achievers wherever he could find them. Now, the thing, like I said, I got jealous. So I decided I wanted to start interviewing the top achievers, because you've heard it said that you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Not spent, but spend, current tense, right? So the family that I was part of in the past, that's who I spent time with. But those that I spend time with, that's who I'm with currently. And that's a valuable lesson. So write that down right now, that you want to start spending time with people who can help you get to the next level in your success, right? So I started interviewing these world's top achievers wherever I could find them. Like Fabio said, I got to the founders of FedEx, Nike, Reebok, the Avita Group, Disney, companies like Fruit of the Loom, Christian Dior, Jordache Jeans, Ted Baker, Uber, you name it. And I also got to big name celebrities, everyone from Oprah Winfrey to Ellen DeGeneres to Warren Buffett to Steve Jobs to some of the biggest names in business. Now, here's a few things that happened for me. As you can imagine, my thinking immediately skyrocketed. I got to a high level of success in many of the things that I was looking at doing. But one of the things that really changed was my financial circumstance. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So get this. As a 19-year-old, remember I was 19, in 6 months, that's this many months, that's 180 days, I was able to generate $1.6 million. And if you do the math very carefully with a calculator, you can find that that's almost $9,000 a day, USD, right? So put a little comment under the happy bar here. How many would like to learn today how to do $9,000 a day for the next 6 months? Would that be fun for you? Would you like to do that? Because that's, I think, what we can talk about today. I'm going to actually show you a lot of how I did that. Now, let's get right into these comments that are coming in about financial freedom, because this is really exciting and this is amazing. And I want you to pay very careful attention, because this lesson will change everything for you. So I see some people, just going to use a Sharpie here, some people saying that financial freedom means to become debt free. Okay, that's all right, right? I see other people say, here we go. Lyndon says it's to be able to experience all the things that he really wants to do in life, right? To be able to have the best things that life can offer. I see Leilani says financial freedom is having a huge savings, investments, and passive income. Okay, so I'm going to put savings. Let's just put I for investments and PI for passive income. These are all really good answers, by the way, but I have to make a confession, and I hope I don't hurt anyone's feelings. They're wrong. Okay, so let's get a couple more. See if we get a right answer here. Someone says, not financial freedom is able to generate millions without working my ass off. Jenny, I love your comment. That's really funny, okay? Someone else says financial freedom is not being stressed about money. So no stress. I mean, that's important. We don't want to have stress, right? Next, someone says, my definition of financial freedom, this is Jasmine, is not just living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life. It also involves early retirement and doing the things that you're passionate about without worrying about your finances. So I'll just maybe put retirement. And I think we've kind of got a little of that with experience, right? So we want to do those things. These are all really neat comments. Let's just see if there's any here that I've missed. So in other words, Layla says, it's financial freedom is being debt-free and having enough money to buy the basic necessities and then some. That's great. Jendi says financial freedom is being able to address your basic needs, luxury, plus become significant by being able to help others who are in financial need as well. I love this idea. I'm going to write that down. And that's called giving back or taking care of others, right? And these are all things that we would do. And by the way, I really honor that one. I think that's important. Some people say that money isn't happiness, right? Bo Derek, the actress, once said, to those who say money isn't happiness, it all depends on where you shop. And I think that's kind of funny, ha ha ha, right? Like if we shop in certain places, we get happiness. But one of the things that I think is important about that is, what do we buy with our money? Because when we give back and we help other people, we actually feel better about our money. And I think that that's an important thing. And if you're one of those people that knows in the future you would give back, number one, I congratulate you, and I'm excited to teach you, because that's the kind of students I want to create. I want to create people who give back, because the truth of the matter is even when I was doing $9,000 a day back then, and I'll tell you later kind of what I'm doing today, I found a way to give back. Because the truth is I don't care how much you spend at the mall or whatever you do, it's very difficult to spend $9,000 a day. I think we can all agree on that. But we should be giving back. When we are trusted by the universe with wealth, when God gives us money and blessings and things, he expects us to be angels to those around us, to be able to take care of those who are in need. So I'm going to encourage you right now to maybe make that one of your missions when I make you wealthy, is that you will become an angel to those in need. So let's do that for sure. So here, I think we've got a lot of answers here, and I want to, I guess, kind of share why I think that these are the wrong answers, okay? And I don't say it to hurt anyone's feelings. I share this really to educate you, because once you know this one idea, it's going to open up the possibilities for you to begin to grow your wealth. So let me just kind of do a little bit of erasing here quick. Okay. And, okay, I shouldn't leave that up there. Sorry. I'll say it again later. But financial freedom, as some of you have kind of listed there, again, debt-free, stress-free, experiences, all these things. Financial freedom is not, listen carefully, is not an emotional experience. It's not. It's actually a specific number. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, let's just write down here financial freedom. I'll put FF for a minute. I want you to think in your mind about all the bills that you have every month. They might include your mortgage for your home. They might include your car payment if you're buying a car, or your gas or your insurance if you have that. Or it may even include the groceries that you buy in your home. It might be, maybe you've got things for your children for their school or whatever it could be, or maybe it's memberships that you have. And when you look at all those monthly reoccurring expenses, you're going to come up with a number. It's going to be a very specific number. Now, I don't know what your number is, but let's just say hypothetically, okay? And this might be way more than most of you. But let's say hypothetically, every month you need $5,000 USD to make ends meet. I know that's pretty high, especially for the Philippines. But let's say that that's what your monthly bills are every single month. So if you can find a way to generate that amount of money without trading your time or your effort for it, you're now financially free. So this becomes the goal. So here's homework number 1 for you. I want you to, and you can write this down and calculate it later, that's fine, but I want you to discover, what does your real financial freedom number look like? What is the real amount of money that you need to make that you would be financial free? Because that's what your financial freedom looks like. Now, before we move on from this idea, I just want to share a couple other thoughts that will be useful for you, because there's a few other things here too. There's one called FI and FS and FA. So this one stands for financial insecurity. This is where many people are. Right now, you might be making less than what your bills are. You might be, in fact, some months having to go not only paycheck to paycheck, but skip paying some bills because it's that difficult for you. So you put it aside and you'll get to that one next month, and you cover the very best you can this month. And it's always a game of, who do I pay? Who do I put on hold? How can I satisfy this? What should I do? And I really love the comment, and I apologize, I just lost who shared it, but when it comes to stress, this is a very stressful position, right? Because we're not sure where that money is going to come from most of the time. This next one is called financial security, and that's people who maybe their job does cover their bills. You know, we can cover it paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, right? But if a new bill comes up, something we didn't expect, something out of the blue, maybe we need to have something done for our health. Maybe it's for our dental work, or maybe our car has challenges. All of a sudden we get a new bill and we shift right back to that one. Most people in North America, and I'm sure the Philippines is the same way, are really just a very fine line between security and insecurity. So this idea here of financial freedom really becomes an important goal. It's something that we want to have. And if you want to have that too, if you want that financial freedom, please write yes in the space bar so I can see how many are following me with this concept right now. Write yes. Now I want to share what the next one is, because this is also important. This is financial abundance. You need to know what that number looks like too. In fact, we often hear of people who write on a vision board and they put up the picture of the nice car that they want. They put the picture of the house they want, or the lifestyle that they want. But we need to also be clear on that vision board of what something might cost, so we can know how close we're getting to that. Here's a really interesting thing to think about, right? Write this down. This is going to be useful for you. A goal that is specific and clear becomes attainable and near, right? So we want to know what this number is. And I don't know what that number is going to be, but it might be quite big. And that's okay. If you know what it is, a goal that is specific and clear starts to become attainable and near. Now, because obviously I can't use my PowerPoint here, let's just see if I can screen share. I don't know if I can or not. Let's try. Let's see what happens here. Now, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, so I'm going to say no on that. But what I have actually with me that I was going to show you guys is I've got pictures of my students from all over the world in multiple countries. Some of you also know, some of you who joined me last time in the Philippines. And many of those around the world are actually now making this amount of money in a passive income way. Oh, look, now it came up late for that. I'll just leave that for now. And I've got students all around the world that are making passive income. In fact, I've got, in the UK, I've got a single mom who is able to replace her entire annual income in fact, just 3 short months. So everything that was taking care of her family here, she now does that in 3 months. If you'd like to learn how to do that, just type yes. I'm going to show you some more on that. I have a gentleman who actually was a professional investor on the stock market. He was doing Forex and trading stock. And yeah, that's right. Someone's got a goal that is specific and clear, becomes attainable and near. So this gentleman was trading stocks and Forex. And he also was able to replace his entire annual income in a very short period of time. I think he did it in about 4 months, but he was making quite a bit of money. I had another lady who was actually a student in school. She was a university student in uni. And we worked with her. And of course, she had very little income. Most of her money was coming from student loans and from her parents. And we also taught her on a very limited student budget. And as you know, students don't have a lot of money. We taught her also how to become financially free. In a moment, I'll share you a little bit more about some of the other students I'm working with. But you might remember last year, I talked a little bit about some of my favorite students. And I showed you a picture of my own son. And my own son was at that time, and remember, this was about a year ago, he was doing $6,000 a month in passive income. So if your financial freedom was 5,000, my son was beating it by 1,000. Well, this year he's doubled that. So he's now doing about $10,000 a month in passive income. How many would like to learn how to do that? Just put yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. Now, is it okay if I show you my very, very favorite student, 2 students? And I have to confess, I actually do not have a picture of the third student who's new. I'm going to see maybe if I can find it for you here quickly in a second. But let me show you. Remember last time you saw my grandkids. This is Marcus and Desiree. That's me in the middle, by the way. Sorry about the no shirt. But that's that's Marcus. Sorry, can't do this backwards. And that's Desiree. And you remember last time, by the way, Desiree is about to turn 6 now on the 25th of July. Marcus is turning 7 on August the 5th. And he is now doing $3,000 a month in passive income, and she's just shy of $2,700 a month in passive income. So I think that's really kind of cool to do that. I was going to show you a picture quick. We've actually added to our family a brand new grandchild. I have a picture of her here. Just one second. I've got so many pictures of people. Well, there she is at the zoo, but she's not looking at us proper. There she is right there. I'm just going to show you that really up close. Does that work? Does that work? There you are. Well, there you go. It's kind of. Maybe you can see it. I don't know. Let's see. There you go. Her name is Christiana. Well, I'm sorry. You can't really see it. Anyways, she is turning 1 on June the 26th. And already she started doing $1,000 a month in passive income. So if you'd like to do that kind of stuff, again, put yes, yes, yes all over the place. I'm going to erase the board because I want to share with you what I believe to be one of the most important concepts of getting started. You need to know this, and we're going to share this with you. Now, how did I do this for me personally? How did I get to, and by the way, I told you I was going to tell you what I'm doing this year now. This year, 2019 to 2020 is my first year now doing 8 figures per year in passive income. Now, if you think about 8 figures, that's like 10 million and up. Passive income, 10 million and up. Now, I won't tell you the exact figure that I'm doing, but right now I'm averaging between 1.3 and 1.7 million dollars a month every month in passive income. So if there's someone who can share with you how to do this, I guess it's going to be me. So let's talk about a few things here so I can help you get to your goals with this. Really, really important. I want to share with you something that I think will start getting your financial life in order for you. I've written the letters A, L, and C, okay? Now, before we start talking about $1 million, I don't want anybody here to be discouraged and thinking, you know, $1 million, it's so far away, right? It's hard to do. Well, the truth of the matter is most people look at all the zeros after $1 million and they say, well, 0, 0, 0, 0, there's 0 chance I'm ever going to get that. And they get discouraged right away and they get frustrated and they think that it's just impossible. Well, let me just give you a little bit of hope. 2 thoughts. 1, you're not going to start at $1 million. Okay. I think we know that. But the other thought is how do you eat an elephant? Well, 1 bite at a time. And when I was a 19-year-old, my very first investment that I ever did actually only generated $60 a month. May not sound like much, but it's a beginning. And you probably heard that Chinese philosophy saying that says there are 2 times that are great to plant a tree. One of them is 20 years ago. The other is right now. And so I'm going to suggest that if we want to get started, there's no better time than right now because we can't go back in a time machine. There's just no way we can do it. And even if you got $60 extra per month right now, just starting at $60, it's better than you're doing right now because it's free money. I want you to think about it this way. Some of my students say, well, 60 bucks, it's hardly worth the effort. Well, if you were walking down the street and you saw $60 on the ground, would you pick it up? Well, of course you would. And if it was there next month in the same spot, would you pick it up again? Of course you would. And if it was there month after month after month after month after month, well, you know what's funny is I estimate that over the years, now I'm not 19 anymore, right? But if I go and just look at all the years I've been collecting that $60 month after month after month, it adds up to almost $8,000 free money. $8,000 free money. So it makes sense that we want this. So if you're interested to learn how to do some of these techniques, just say yes, and also recognize that it is going to come to you logically and in a system. It's going to come in a specific way. It's going to unfold in a unique pattern that I'm going to show you that works every time. And by the way, as I get going into this, let me tell you something about money that one of my mentors told me. Now, remember, I was interviewing 400 of the world's top achievers, millionaires and billionaires and people who, made incredible amounts of money. So here's what one of them told me. He said, just remember that money doesn't have emotions. It doesn't care how smart you are. It doesn't care what your past is like. It doesn't care about the family you came from. It doesn't care about what's going on in your world or in your life. The only thing it cares is that you follow the system that creates it. So I want to show that to you. So as we get into this, let's explain this really quickly. So this is really what banks, when a bank is looking at a millionaire, what they define a millionaire to be. Okay, so I want you to know this because there's one of these three that's going to be best for you. It's going to be the best for you. So let's take a look at this really quick. The first kind of millionaire is what we call an asset millionaire. This means that on paper, you're worth $1 million. Maybe that means it's your house, it's your art collection, it's your cars, it's all the things that you have. But there's really kind of two problems with this. Problem number one is I've never been able to go into a restaurant and said, here's my bank statement, can you give me a meal? Right? Like no one will do that for you, right? So assets, they look good on paper, but they don't really change your life. Now, the second thing that's interesting about assets is the value of that paper changes. As we know with what happened with COVID, many of the stocks in my country too went down. In fact, we took immediately like a 40% hit on stocks. So if somebody has $1 million today and you take a 40% hit, that's like $400,000 that you've lost. Bam, right? And the same can happen to real estate and elsewhere. So this is important, but it's not the most important one that you want. The second kind of millionaire that they talk about is what we call liabilities millionaire. And this basically means that you have the ability to borrow $1 million, right? So in other words, your credit is good, you've got assets in place, the bank will loan you $1 million. The problem with this kind of millionaire though, is it's not your money, right? You're borrowing it. So technically you're a millionaire in the bank size because you can borrow that, you qualify for that, but it's not really your money. And if we look at movies like The Big Short, remember what happened in 2008 when the real estate economy died? It's because everybody was over leveraged, borrowing far more money than they really had the ability to pay back, and the whole thing crumbled. Companies did it, and then they had to lay off people who had done it, and suddenly it just was a domino effect, and everybody wound up upside down. Now, the final one is the one that you want. I'm going to write it in capital letters. It's what we call a cash flow millionaire. That's what you want. Cash flow will change everything. Cash flow is what makes your life experience different. And I want you to think about this for a minute. Most people look at cash flow, and again, when it comes to being a millionaire, they just don't really know where they're at. So let me give you the numbers. To become a cash flow millionaire, you need to be earning $2,739 a day. Well, let's get more specific. That's about $114 per hour, and that's about $1.10 per minute. That's what it takes to become a cash flow millionaire. Now, I just want to share an interesting insight for you. The students that join me, whether it's my own grandchildren or some of the people that I've talked about, students all around the world, very, very, very few people, a very small percent, start out making $2,739 a day. There's very few that started that. So let's just be realistic, right? But I do have many students who actually start out, and so could you, by doing $500 USD extra per month. Isn't that interesting to think about? $500 USD per month. How many would like to have an extra $500 USD per month? Just put yes right now. If that's you, put yes, yes, yes if you want to have an extra $500 USD per month. Now, the thing I want to share about 500, to put it in perspective, in Canada, where I live, 500 USD is actually a car payment on a brand new BMW. That's right. You could get a brand new car. You join me. You let me teach you. I'm going to give you basically the tools to get a brand new car every single month. You'll have that $500 coming in. And you know, that's cool. A lot of people start with that, but they don't finish there. You see, making money is kind of like making cupcakes. Once you have the recipe, you can print as many cupcakes as you want. So who would print more than just the $500 a month? I'm pretty sure all of you, but put yes, 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 if again, you would do more. So let's just say that you could do $500 a week. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? Do you know that $500 a week, and I don't know what that'll buy you in the Philippines, but I've got a suspicion it's gonna be pretty good for you. But in North America, $500 a week, that's $2,000 a month. That is the payment on a mortgage. That is a new property. So how many would like to join me? And I'm gonna basically give you a new house. You're gonna have a new house. Now you don't have to live there, you can rent it out. It can be another form of income, which will even compound this faster. But if you choose to move there, maybe it's a big upgrade for you, right? And by the way, I don't care where you live, if you live in the Philippines or if you live in, who cares? 500 US, because some of the tools that I use actually involve global customers. It's 500 US, whether you're in the Philippines or whether you're in the UK or wherever. Now again, remember I said about cupcakes. So if you learn how to do it in a month, you learn how to do it in a week, you could also learn how to do it in a day. That's the crazy thing. And by the way, this I want to try and show you if I can. Let me just see if I can bring this up here. I want to share this screen with you. Let me just see if it'll let me do this super quick. I know it takes a second for me to click in, but I want to show you this because I've got a lady by the name of Vicky in the UK. She just kind of started with us. And the cool thing is, okay, it's coming up. It's coming up. And I'm not going to bring the whole screen up. I'm just going to bring this so you can see it. Are we there? Can you see it? Come on. Technology, right? I don't know if it's sharing it or not. I don't know if you can see this or not. But if you can see it, this is actually her Stripe account. You'll notice the time in the corner says that this was 4:39 in the morning. 4:39 in the morning. And what that means to me is that she was probably asleep. We don't wake up at 4:39 in the morning. I don't know about you, but I don't wake up at 4:39 in the morning. And what it says for her, I really want to show this. I don't know how to do this. Let's see. I wish I could. I really wish you could see this. Okay, so what it says for her is that last night, before 4:39 in the morning, she made $1,511. By the way, it's also got her day before. The day before that, she made $2,960. And then the payouts for the side is $6,351.65. And she's got an expected payout hitting her account right now for $1,201.25. So again, for her, I just want to be clear, 4:39 in the morning, before she's even rolling out of bed, she's already made $1,511 even. That's what she did. How many would like to learn how to do that? If you want to learn how to do that, just simply type yes in your bar again, and we're going to keep going, and I want to show you this. So again, $1,500 while she slept. Now, I want to tell you guys something interesting. There's a really wonderful quote that I love from Warren Buffett. He said that if you don't want to work till you die, you need to learn how to make money while you sleep. Now, that sounds really good on the surface, but most people don't know how to do it. So I want to talk a little bit about how to do that. We've got, I think, probably about 8 or 9 minutes left. So let me maybe just talk to you about how that's going to be done. And one of the big challenges that we experience when it comes to wealth is that most of us have been taught incorrect ideas around money. The first thing that we've been taught is that time equals money. We need to trade our time for money. In fact, even while we're in school as students, they give us words like minimum wage, which means the wage attached to the hour, right? We also are told phrases like overtime. We're going to work overtime. And so that kind of time is being attached again to money. We're also told to keep a time sheet and to punch in and out. So everything is kind of psychologically trained to have us all in this idea that time equals money. You've even heard that time equals money. No, it doesn't. Totally doesn't. Totally doesn't. The other thing that we're often told is the more educated we become, the more we go to school, the more money we get. Now, confession time, okay? Please don't think less of me about this, but I want to be authentic. I have not passed a mathematics course in school since grade 10, since the 10th grade. Even when I went to college, I didn't. I kind of found a different way to go through school without math. My chemistry, I've never had a passing grade in chemistry in my life, and I've never taken a physics course or anything like that. But money doesn't care. Money doesn't care how smart you are. In fact, one of the things that's really interesting, and we're going to talk about what does build money here, so I'll just give you that word right now. It's systems that build money. It's systems that make money. And let me share with you a personal experience that happened to me that was really kind of interesting, right? So when I was interviewing the top 400 achievers, there was a man who was worth about $800 million that I met with. I see, am I running out of time, Fabio?
You're right there, right about there. But go on, 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes.
Hey, so let me do it this way then instead. I want to share with you guys the systems, but I've got something special I'd like to do because I'd like to invite you guys to continue the journey with us. I thought I had, according to the clock, 6 minutes, but I guess we're not there. So let's see what we can do. Okay. Thank goodness I have friends that work in the high places here in the behind the scenes, right? They're going to be merciful and they're going to give us a time. I want to teach you the systems. So let me explain how we're going to do that together. Wealth is never created by an individual. It's always created by a team. And I want to help you. I want to be on your team. I want to share with you what I know. And I've got some things that I'm going to do to guarantee your success. If you like the idea of having your success guaranteed, this is it. Okay, so type yes if you like the idea of having your success guaranteed. Now, by the way, if we ask the question, what's easier to make, your first million or your second, right? We'd all answer our second is easier to make because our first one's where we're learning. So what better way to create your first million than to get a millionaire to help you? So I'm going to help you. So we've developed something really special, really, really special for this particular program, the Freedom Summit. I want to create some wealth among you. I want to have some people that I can point to in the Philippines as success stories, people that are making that $500 a week, people that are making bigger than that and doing well. So if you want to be one of my people, I want to just point out that I've got an opportunity for 25 people, 25 only. I've got a program called the Wealth System Blueprint. Okay, you're going to be able to go to that website, wealthsystemblueprint.com. This is a program where there's 8 videos that you're going to get. The same as what we shared at our live event. It comes with all the tools that you're going to need to be successful. When this program retails in North America, we sell it for $4,997 USD. That's $5,000. This is a powerful program, and it will change your life, and it'll give you everything that I learned from the top achievers. But I want to give you more. We've also got a book called the Wealth Mindset Book. I'm going to throw that in. We offer that for $197, and it comes with all the tools that are in it. And then I've got something really cool that I want to do. You see, most of you are wondering, how am I going to do this? How does he give me that guarantee that he just talked about? How is he going to be able to help me? Well, we've actually designed 2 specific tools, and I can't really tell you too much about them, but one of them is online. The other is an offline tool. So depending on what it is that you're better at, I'm going to give this to you. These generate cash immediately. I've got one of our girls who actually is also a single mom. She's got a 2-year-old daughter, and she's doing $25,000 a month on it right now. I want to give it to you. This tool we offer at $997 normally. So I want to give you those 2 tools included in that. And then I've also got 3 additional modules I want to give you. I want to give you something called Wealth Lessons from a Billionaire. It's an audio that explores exactly what I learned from these top achievers. So you've heard the idea of take a millionaire to lunch. I want to share with you what you get when you take a billionaire to lunch. So let's write that down too. I'm going to give that to you. One of the things that Fabio mentioned at the beginning is I'm a regular featured expert on Fox, CNN, NBC, and all of the major media across North America. One time they asked me, what are your top tips for taking a business to over $1 million? And since most of you have never done that before, I want to unfold that to you step by step. So we've got a really cool tool called Essentials to Getting to $1 Million. I don't really worry about what business you're in. These steps are the same. They're the common markers that all of the top achievers have used. And then I also want to give you a tool with it is how to get to your first million. How will you do your very first? Now, with these 3 modules, this is a value of about $397 again. So if you do the math quick, you're going to get the Wealth System Blueprint, which is all the 8 modules. You're going to get the book, which is $197. You're going to get the 2 tools that will guarantee your income at $997. We're going to train you how to use those, and you'll be able to make money right away, like right away. And then I'm going to give you these 3 modules. If you do the math, it comes out to be 15, I think 482 or something like that. For the Freedom Summit, we've got something special that we're going to do for you. We're going to actually give you all of this for the first 25. You'll be able to get it for just $297 right now. You can access it immediately. Now, where do you need to go to do that? Listen carefully, because this is it. The first 25, thewealthsystemsblueprint.com. Again, that's thewealthsystemsblueprint.com. I want you to be able to head there and get that for yourself. I'm just making sure that I've got it. thewealthblueprint.com. Thank goodness we've got our team. By the way, did you know that I hire a lot of people from the Philippines? If you're looking for work, reach out to me. So thewealthyblueprint.com. Maybe we could have somebody write that up, thewealthyblueprint.com. And right now, that's available to you. I'll maybe even write it in the comments myself. Do I have the ability to do that? I don't know. I want to help you guys. Let's just make sure you have that. So for those of you that are ready to join us, thewealthyblueprint.com, that's all one word. And I guess just kind of in finishing, let me just finish the one story that I wanted to share with you about systems. One of the mentors that I was visiting with when I was a young man, he said, you know, I'd like to help you to build your business. And so I sat down with him and I brought my business plan. And the first questions I started asking were this. I said, what do I need to do? How am I going to do this? Who do I need to look for? What do I need to do? And you know what he said to me? He stopped me and he said, you know, I can tell you're going to be building a small company. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, because you're asking selfish questions. I said, what do you mean by that? And he goes, whenever somebody asks, what do I need to do? What do I have to have happen? You know it's going to be small, because wealth is always built by a team. It's the people you surround yourself with. That's why it's said that we become like the 5 people we surround ourselves with. He said the better question to ask isn't what will I do, but who will help me? Who can answer this? Who can do this for you? I'm right here today, folks. I do want to help you. I know that we've got some people here that are going to be my success stories. We'll be able to take you to the next level. I can see, thank you so much. They put it on the bottom of the screen. First 25 only who join us there will get a chance to be part of this. And I've also got a few special gifts that I haven't mentioned here. But again, with this alone, you will be guaranteed to be making some big money, and you'll be my success story. I'm going to pass it back to you, Fabio. It's so good to be with you guys. I miss you all. I hope to see you soon.
We miss you too. And in the meanwhile, you can see at the bottom of the screen, you can see the wealthyblueprint.com. So this is where you guys can get back in touch with Doug. But Doug is never going to leave us the Philippines. Actually, he's going to be back soon. And he will never leave the Freedom Summit Global, because I think that not only we found a fantastic superstar, but also a great guy to be with.
Link here. Let me see.
We need to let you go now because I got more people behind you. So thank you, Doug.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And blessings to all of you. Thank you so much.